Jai Hind, myself Neha Garg. I am assistant professor in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, and today's topic is bridge and center type rectifier. And this topic has been taken from the subject Fundamentals of Electronics Engineering. Subject code is BEC 201. So basically, what the rectifier do? Rectifier converts the AC signal into DC signal. Means like we have a this type of signal, so it will convert into the like in this way. So it does not provide the pure DC. It provides the pulsating AC, and these pulses, these are called the ripples. So these can also smooth by passing these pulses through the filter. Like if you pass it through the capacitor, then through the charging and discharging of the capacitor, this waveform will be like in this way. And now if these waveforms, these are the out result after filtering, and this is the output of the rectifier. This is the output for the full wave rectifier, and this is the output of the capacitor. And if this is passed to the voltage regulator, then we can obtain the smooth DC. So this is how we can obtain the smooth DC from the AC signal. So here basically we are seeing the half wave rectifier. So this is the idle diode we have, and to this idle diode we have connected this load resistance, and here VI signal is there. This VI signal is the sine wave. So we can say this diode will be in forward biased in the positive half cycle of the diode. So this diode can be replaced with the short circuit. So now the equivalent circuit will be in this way. So here we can see this output would be equal to VI. So when this diode is in forward bias, the output is equal to VI, means it is equal to plus VM. Or when the diode in next cycle, in negative half cycle, this diode will be in reverse bias. So it will be replaced with the open circuit, and output would be equal to 0. So if we draw the output waveform, this was our input waveform, and the output waveform will be in this way. This is VI and this is V0. So for half cycles we are getting the output. So this is for the half wave rectifier. This is the same thing I have explained in the last slide. This is the input, and these are the outputs we are getting. So we can see here clearly that we are getting only the positive cycles, and this is the peak value, and this VDC is equal to Vm upon pi. This is the DC level or V average output. So how we can calculate this V average output or VDC output? We are seeing that the output waveforms are like this was our input, and we are getting this output like in this way. So this was 0, pi, 2 pi. So this is the pi, 0 pi, 2 pi. 0 pi and 2 pi. So V average means like we can see one cycle will be completed here. After this repetition is start, like in this way. So one cycle is this is a complete cycle. After this repetition is start. So one cycle is completed at 0 to 2 pi. So V average means we have to take the voltage at all the instants. Here the voltage is 0, voltage output is 0, but here the voltage output is Vm sine omega omega t. This is the voltage output here. So for taking the average, what we have to do, we have to collect all the voltage output at all the instants from 0 to 2 pi, and we have to integrate all these instants from 0 to 2 pi, and we have to, after that we have to divide the interval. Like we have 30 students in our class, and we have to find the average of marks of those 30 students. So what we will do, we will add all the marks of the 30 students, and then we will divide that figure by the number of the students, that is 30. So similarly here we will add up all the voltage at this point to this point and integrate it from 0 to 2 pi, and then we'll divide by 2 pi. So here also, and when we open this, we will find that 0 to pi, it will be Vm sine omega t upon 2 pi, and for pi to 2 pi, it will be 0. So that's why the final result is 0 to pi Vm sin omega t upon 2 pi dt. So that is written here, Vm upon 2 pi sin omega t d omega t. Now we can open the limits and the result is Vm upon 2 pi, or we can call it 0.318 Vm. So in case of half wave rectifier, the average output is Vm upon pi. And this is for the VRMS voltage. VRMS voltage means root mean square voltage. So for finding root mean square voltage, we will take Vm sin omega t. So this is the root mean square. So this is the output voltage that we are getting. Like in this way, we are getting 0, pi, 2 pi. Complete waveform is at 2 pi. So we will square this waveform. And after squaring this waveform, what we root mean square. So first of all, we have squared this. After that, I have to find the mean. So for finding the mean, I will do 0 to 2 pi upon 2 pi. So this is the mean that I have calculated. Means average that we have calculated. And after that, I have to take the root. So I will take the root of this. So 0 to pi Vm sin omega t whole square upon 2 pi. Okay. So now when I will solve this, it will become, for it 0 to pi, it will become 0 to pi Vm sin omega t square upon 2 pi, because for pi to 2 pi it is 0. That's why this thing is written here. Vm sin omega t whole square d omega t upon 2 pi, limits are 0 to pi. So same thing is written here. So after calculating this, the answer will be Vm by 2. So this is the root mean square voltage Vm by 2 for the half wave rectifier. After that, ripple factor. So ripple factor is the amount of the AC component in the rectifier output. Like we are getting the output in this way, we are not getting a smooth DC. So this ripples that we are getting the DC output, this is called the ripples. So it is defined by the ratio of the VAC component in the output upon VDC output. So VRMS is equal to VRMS square is equal to VDC square plus VAC square. So VAC square is equal to VRMS minus VDC. So we can place here value VAC, we can put it VRMS whole square minus VDC whole square upon VDC whole square. So it will be like VRMS whole square upon VDC whole square minus 1. Now here we can put the value of VRMS square and VDC square. For half wave, VRMS is Vm by 2 and value of VDC is Vm by pi. So we can simply put the values here and we can find the answer, that is 1.21. So in case of half wave rectifier, ripple factor is always 1.21. And for calculating the efficiency means the DC power output, and the rectifier was like in this way. So this was the RF and the diode resistance is RF. This is VI plus minus. So for output, we have to find the DC output, power output here. So for that DC power output, we can find IDC square multiplied by RL. IDC means average current, average DC current, that is given by Im upon pi whole square multiplied by R. And for AC input, AC is calculated from input side. So it will also include the resistance of the diode, that is RF plus RL and IRMS square. And here we can ignore the value of, since this is very high, RL is very high in comparison to RF. So we can ignore the RF, and if we put these values and in here, we can find efficiency is 40.6%. So in case of half wave rectifier, efficiency is 40.6. So this is how we can calculate the peak inverse voltage of the diode. So basically the peak inverse voltage is the maximum voltage that develops across the diode when it is in reverse bias. The diode can withstand before coming into the breakdown. So this is the PIV. So for PIV, we have to put the diode in the reverse bias. Like we have this circuit. This is the resistance and this is the input. So if we have a positive or negative cycle, like here, this diode, when this diode will be in reverse bias, in negative half cycle, means this diode will be open circuit. Now this is open, so here minus, here plus, so it will be your PIV. Means you have put this diode in reverse bias, and when it is in reverse bias, the voltage across this diode, that is called the PIV. So now we have to find this PIV. So we can, here diode is not conducting, so here output is 0, and here we can apply KVL and we will find this PIV would be equal to Vm. So this is the peak inverse voltage of the diode in case of the half wave rectifier. So after that, full wave rectifier. So in case of the full wave rectifier, we will see in full wave rectifier like we will two types of full wave rectifier we will see, like bridge rectifier and center type rectifier. So in that case, we will see the output will be like this will be the output. In both cycles, we will be getting the output, and in that case, when we calculate the V average value, it will be like Vm upon 2 Vm upon when we calculate the average voltage, 2 Vm upon pi, and for Vrms it will be Vm upon root 2. So we can here similarly for calculating the efficiency of the full wave rectifier, all the steps are same that we have used in the half wave rectifier. Only we have to change the value of this IDC and IRMS. In case of this IDC, value is 2 Im upon pi, and for IRMS it will be Im upon root 2. Simply we have to change these figures. In case of half wave rectifier, IDC was Im upon pi and IRMS was Im upon 2. And here in full wave rectifier, these values have changed, so the efficiency has become 81.2. So these are the differences between the half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Like number of diodes in half wave rectifier is 1, and in full wave rectifier these are number 2 and 4. So in case of half wave rectifier, full center type rectifier, it will be 2, and for full bridge rectifier it will be 4. Efficiency of half wave rectifier is 40.6, and efficiency of full wave rectifier is 81.2. Ripple factor in case of half wave rectifier was 1.21, and for full wave is 0.48. All these things we will see in the coming slides. So this is basically we can solve this question. This is the half wave rectifier, and we have to find the DC output voltage. For VDC, what we have to do, Vm upon pi is the output. So Vm is 20 volts, so 20 by pi. We can solve this, and this is the VDC output here. Like we can see here, VDC upon pi, Vm upon pi, and here negative cycle is there. That's why here minus 6.14 is there. After that, full wave rectifier, two types of full wave rectifier is there. First one is the bridge rectifier. In bridge rectifier, we can see 4 diodes are there. In half wave rectifier, only 1 diode was there. And in the slides that depicting the difference between the half wave and full wave, we have seen full wave has 4 diodes or 2 diodes. 4 diodes are in the case of bridge rectifier, 2 diodes will be in the case of the center type. So here we can see, and how we can connect these diodes. Opposite diodes are always in the same direction. Like it is oriented here, likewise it is oriented here. This is, and parallel diodes are always in same orientation. We can also change the orientation of the diodes, like we can make it in this way, and we can also make it in this way, and we can make it in this way, we can make it in this way. But opposite diodes orientation must be same, and other rest of the circuit will be in this way. So we can see this configuration. So we can see in positive half cycle. In this cycle, which diode will be in forward bias? We can see in positive half cycle, this part and this part plus. So D2 and D3 will be forward bias, and D1, D2 reverse bias. Since these are the ideal diodes, the diodes D2 and D3, they are forward bias, so they will be replaced with a short circuit. So equivalent circuit will be like in this way. And these diodes will be open. So this is in the positive half cycle. In positive half cycle, this circuit will be look like in this way. And now we can see the current will flow in this way. Here current will come in this way, after that this way and this way. So this is plus, this is minus. Here direction of current is in this way when the positive half cycle is there. And now in negative half cycle, this will become minus, this will become plus. And now in negative half, D2, D3 is reverse and D1, D2 is forward bias. So your equivalent circuit will be in this way. We can see here, like now these diodes will be open and these are open. This is short, like in this way, and this is plus, this is minus. So current will flow in this way. Now direction of current is again here. We can see in both direction of current is from A to B side. Here also it is from A to B side. So in both cycle, the current is flowing from A to B side. Means in both cycle, the direction of current remains same in full wave rectifier. That's why the output will be in this way. For both cycle, same orientations will be there. Like in positive half cycle, you can see these diodes are shortened and direction of current is in this way. In second half cycle, negative half cycle, direction of current is again in this way. So in this load resistance, in both cycles, direction of current is same. Like this, so this is the output. And now this is the center type rectifier. In center type rectifier, we are using two diodes. So, and the bridge rectifier is preferred over the center type rectifier because center type rectifier use the center type transformer. That is very costly and very bulky, very heavy. And this and bridge rectifier has a transformer utilization factor more in comparison to the center type rectifier. In case of bridge rectifier, its value is 0.8, nearly 0.8, and for center type rectifier, its value is 0.6. Transformer utilization factor means how much we can utilize the efficiency of the transformer for converting AC, for utilizing AC signal. Now this center type transformer, it has a property that it can divide the input signal Vi, like this is our input signal Vi, in two parts, like this is a Vi and this is also Vi. So this is if 10 volt is there, here also 10 volt is there, here also 10 volt is there. Like for positive half cycle, we can see this Vm is there plus minus, this Vm is there plus minus. So in positive half cycle, diode positive half cycle, D1 is forward bias and D2 is reverse bias. So this equivalent circuit will be like in this way. This diode will be short, D1 will be short and D2 will be open. This will be open now. So it will Vm plus minus, this will be Vm plus minus. This is V0. Now current will flow in this way. So this is plus minus. So this is the equivalent circuit when in the positive half cycle. So direction of current is from A to B. And in negative half, this point will become negative, this will become positive, this will become negative, this will become positive. So in negative half cycle, D1 is reverse bias and D2 is forward bias. So this equivalent circuit will be like in this way now. This will be open now. So this will open. This is resistance, and now this is short. So this Vm minus plus Vm minus plus, this is RL. So here this is a negative half cycle. The D1 is reverse bias and D2 is short circuit. Now the direction of current will be in this way here. So it is also V0 plus minus. So here we can see direction of current in both cases is same. Here also A to B, in the previous case also from A to B. So that's why if this input signal is this, the output signal will be in this way. Okay, so this is how the center tap transformer and bridge rectifier works. Center tap transformer has only 2 diodes and bridge rectifier has 4 diodes. Now the PIV, how we can calculate the PIV of the center tap transformer? So I have told you in the last slide, for that we have to put the diode in the reverse bias condition. So we have the circuit like, for this we have a circuit like in this way. Okay, so like in negative half cycle, this will be minus plus Vm minus plus in negative half cycle. In negative half cycle, or if we are calculating the PIV of this diode, so we have to keep this diode in reverse bias, and P plate is here, so we have to maintain the negative potential here. So we will take the negative cycle of the Vi signal. So for negative half cycle, this diode will be in reverse bias and this diode will be short circuit. So this circuit will be like in this way. Okay, so here the output voltage V0 is equal to Vm. This will be the Vm and this is the PIV. So if we apply this KVL here, so we will find that PIV minus Vm is equal to 0. It means PIV is equal to 2 Vm. So in center tap rectifier, PIV would be equal to 2 Vm. We can calculate PIV for any of the diode. We can calculate PIV for this diode also. We can calculate PIV for this diode also. But for calculating the PIV of that diode, we have to keep that diode in reverse bias. So this circuit calculates the PIV of this diode. We have taken the negative half cycle for that. And for this, the PIV value is 2 Vm. And this circuit, it depicts the PIV value of, this is also depicting the PIV value of this diode only. So for taking the PIV value of this diode, we have to maintain this diode in the reverse bias. So we will take positive half cycle. So for positive half cycle, output will be V0. So here we will find the PIV that will equal to the 2 Vm. So in center tap rectifier, the PIV value for both diode is 2 Vm. And for PIV value for the bridge rectifier, so bridge rectifier has the 4 diodes. So if we calculate the PIV value of any of the 4 diodes, the PIV value will come to equal to Vm. For D1 diode, it will be Vm. For D2 diode, it will be Vm. For D3, D4, it will be Vm also. So, for calculating PIV, we have to keep the diode in reverse bias. Like this diode, we have to calculate the PIV of this diode. So we have to keep the diode in reverse bias, means this will be positive and this will be negative, and it will happen only in the positive half cycle. So in positive half cycle, this diode open, this diode open, this diode short, this diode short, and here we will find the PIV. So we will find that PIV, this PIV will be in parallel with this output voltage, and that will be equal to your Vm. So in case of bridge rectifier, the PIV value will be equal to Vm. Now how we can calculate the RMS voltage of the full wave rectifier? So for this, like we have the waveform in this way, and we can see this is 0, pi, 2 pi. So here we can see there is a repetition after the pi voltage. So here if we can RMS voltage like Vm sin omega t whole square of this, and for finding the mean we will put the limits like in this way 0 to pi, because here the repetition is after pi, and after we will put this root. So we will, after solving, we can find the value of Vm by root 2. And similarly here we can also find the value of average voltage. We have like this is a waveform, and 0 here the repetition of pi, repetition at pi value is there. So that's why we are taking the Vm sin omega t 0 to pi upon pi. So this is how we can calculate the average value. Okay, thank you.